Good morning, Year 9. I hope that everybody is doing well and that you've had a really good week so far. Some excellent work last week looking at creating journal pages. I'll be sharing those over on Twitter, so please do have a look. Some fantastic outcomes. Some people rushed them a little bit. I'm not going to put them in the PowerPoint today, but please make sure that you took your time and you spent due care and time on them. Moving on today then, okay, this week you are going to learn how to make your own zine. So you're going to learn about what a zine is, and you're going to be able to explore the theme of identity and the theme of lockdown in creating a 3D collage zine. So what is a zine then? Okay, a zine, they originated from the 1930s. They are small, often original and unique publications, almost like a mini magazine. They often use collaging, they often use printed techniques. They're usually created by a single person or a small group of people. So they were really popular with music and fashion, things like with punk music, the Riot Grrrl movement, sci-fi, and there's lots of modern zines as well. You've got the home zine, you've got a dad tweet zine, there's all sorts of different ones, plants, still going today. Obviously we use the internet a lot now, and this is part of the reason I wanted to teach you the art of zine making, because the fantastic thing about creating a zine is a zine is effectively a little journal of, like I said, collage. It explores different creative techniques, and it kind of was the original Instagram, the original visual representation, the original lookbook for fashion, and the original kind of postering and story of music, kind of magazine journaling. So Kanye West is somebody that created his own zine that went with his fashion collection for his brand Yeezy. They've also been, like I said, popular with music and fashion, with big bands like the Sex Pistols and other punk bands too. So what are you going to need to be able to make your zine before I go any further? Well, you're going to need some A3 or A4 paper. It depends what size you want it. You need some glue. You'll need a long ruler if you've got one, scissors. You'll need some old scrap materials and wrappers of maybe your favourite things you like. Could be, I don't know, your favourite chocolate bar wrapper. Hopefully you've got some magazines or newspapers lying around and some coloured paper. Any paper scraps is fantastic to be recycled for this project. So maybe you collect things like that, or ribbons, any kind of string ribbons, old scraps. It could be concert tickets, anything like that. But it should represent the theme of self-identity, or be cut up into that. Please don't be cutting up, your parents' favourite book, or their newspaper that they've just bought, or their precious magazines. You could use some tape as well. Could even use a tube map. Whatever you've got lying around the house. So I'm going to show you in a minute how you do the zine, how you create it, but I have put on my PowerPoint a recap of how you fold it to create the pages. I'm also going to be adding to this video 2 videos of a zine tutorial. I watched a fantastic online tutorial of how to create the zine from scratch, and also about some different techniques that you could include in your zine, whether it be collaging using cutouts of a magazine, it could be using typography and lettering. So I'm going to share those videos after this video. It will all be in the same video attached. I thought, why recreate it when there's a fab video out there already? So yeah, I've run through that really quickly. You can have a little bit of your own research looking at some of the zines I've linked here. But I'm going to talk through one that I've now created. Well, I've got 2 that I've created for you. So mine are quite large, and I did them quite big, so it was easier to go through on a video. I actually used an A2 piece of paper, a really big piece of paper. But yours might be half the size of this. They might be only that big. A6 once you've folded your page, like in the demonstration, which is here. So it's really simple. You just fold in different techniques, following this carefully. And you'll need scissors and a ruler ruler and a paper for the folding bit. Okay, so I've made 2 zines. I'm going to talk through my, which one shall I talk through? I'm going to talk through this one first. I've not got a cover on it. Obviously, you're going to have a lot more time to spend on yours. I just did a few quick ones to show you. So I actually did this one based on natural forms for another one of my groups previously. So I've cut out some images, and mine's kind of like a story. So I started off with a landscape, not landscape, sorry. I started off with, what do you could say, landscape, with kind of a treetop view. And then I wanted it to be this idea of underneath the trees. So I've got a man then underneath the trees and the flowers that grow underneath the trees. Again, it's not finished, but it's just some ideas. Turn over my page. The man's obviously going on a journey then. So he's leaving being beneath the trees. He's going on a journey. So I've included a tube map. And I've put flower token because the theme was natural forms. I've then included like a flower journey. I've put some of my own drawings in there. As well, and a luggage tag which says take me on a journey. Stick that in somewhere. And then I've got this idea of flowers growing and that we grow. So I've then got a little piece here of a flower before it blooms and then when it blooms. So that's part of my story. Then I've got the man on his bike in a flower field, and that links into the flowers. Then he's finished on his bike and he is going to sail his boat. And then right at the end of my zine, he's gone on his boat trip and he's ended up in the desert. So that was my kind of natural forms, looking at land kind of journey. So I just wanted to show you, basically, that was really a quick run through, because I don't want to spend all day talking. I want you to just create something about you. I want to show you how you can, add different techniques to create a little journey. My actual my actual identity one, I've done a really quick couple of pages to show you, but I want yours to be full. I included all of my favourite things in the first page, a full-on identity journey. Flamingo is one of my favourite animals. J2O, juice drink, sweets, and kind of like my eye underneath. And then I really like abstract and kind of 80s patterns, so I've included that on there. The next thing that I'm going to do, which I've not got around to doing, is I've put a tube map in mine as well. Obviously, if you live near a station, you can go and grab one for free. Or you might have some at home. And then I'm going to start to kind of plan my kind of life journey through the tube map. So I've only done a few pages, but you could do several pages on yours. I want to see what you come up with. I'm giving you a bit of creative freedom to get on with this task. And again, in the next part of this video, there's going to be a couple of videos on the process of making the zine, and then there's going to be some techniques such as typography, collaging, and some other things as well. So hopefully that is clear on what I want you to do today. There's not going to be any other tasks. You don't have to do an analysis task. Obviously you can't do this in your book. It needs to be on paper. But I would like to either see you send me a video of your zine or just several pictures of the pages. There's no limit to this task. I mean, I want you to do a couple of pages. And it'd be nice to see all the pages full. Yours is going to be half the size of this. But yeah, so that is the zine making task. Hopefully that is clear. All the instructions you need are here in this video and on the PowerPoint. So enjoy the next part of the video, and I will catch up with you soon. Take care. Bye, Year 9.
Take your ruler and score it for a nice crisp fold, and then fold lengthways. Again, score with the ruler, open it again, and then fold halfway to the center on either side. And then when you open it up, you should have 8 boxes. At this point, you want to fold it again in half widthways and make an incision from this point to this point and no further. So I'm going to do that now. Just until that point. And then when you open it up again, you can see that there's a slit in the middle of the page. So now, if you make a tent, push the paper towards itself, you'll see a diamond shape appear, and then a sort of cross. You're almost done. Fold it down, and there you have your pages. I've used card that's a little bit thicker than regular printer paper, so I'm just going to score the pages and make it flat.
Otherwise it has those bubbles, doesn't it?
That's right. And there you have your one-page folded zine. You can number the pages if you like, or you can just open it back up and get designing. So collage is a great way to brighten up this dark image. This lady's wearing quite a dark dress. Also works really well with vintage images. It sort of modernizes them, gives them contemporary feel. Nice little mood. Do try it in your own work. The next technique I wanted to share with you was the use of text and type. As you can see here, I've cut out some words from a magazine and made a little poem. So it can be the whole part of your collage, or it can just form part of the collage, as it does here with this collage that I did. I think it was the very first one I ever did. I also used paint, and that's another technique actually. The use of ink and paint or pen, glitter, stickers, whatever you can add to your zine sort of really transforms it. In this instance, it makes it kind of fun. So I've doodled all over this and turned it into a bit of a comic-y sort of meme. So you could try that out as well. And another technique would be ripping instead of cutting. This is actually one of my favorites. Sometimes I get a bit bored with cutting things so precisely. And when you rip instead of cut, you get these lovely jaggedy edges, these little white rips here. Great for adding texture to an image. It makes it really quite cool. Let me show you another example here. I did a sort of fashion one. If you'd like to try this out yourself, all you need to do is layer all the images that you like. I would suggest maybe 4 or 5, depending on the size of your collage. Let the glue dry for about half an hour to an hour. That's if you're using a glue stick. And then rip. And you'll get these irregular shapes, and these little images will just poke out from underneath other images, and it's to great effect. And lastly, yes, the possibilities are endless, guys.
I said that too, it's like our catchphrase.
I think so. And I think what I would like to share is that while collage is very much about layering and adding, it's also about removing. So when you look at an image, don't just think about what you can add to it. Think about how you could sort of adjust it by removing it and moving shapes around. So in this case, I've just cut out this lady's face and sort of moved it. Also, something else you could do is play around with size. Let me bring my little mini sketchbook over. So that's something that I've done here. It's quite playful and fun. So you could resize things and transform images, create a real surreal feeling, place things where they shouldn't be. Just have fun with it, be really playful. Something else I like to do is create irregular shapes. I don't always find it very easy to do that myself. So what I have done in this instance is actually use cuttings from the floor. I really loved these images that I found. I thought they were great. I didn't want to waste them. And so I put them together in a collage. And you could do that too.
That's scraps, you mean?
That's scraps, yeah.
Discarded from another collage.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
And here's another example where I did just that. Sort of, I wouldn't have thought to cut, that way. Maybe now I would, now that I've done it. And yeah, it's sort of another way you can use collage. And something else I quite like to do is I like to create shapes and use images that are not regular. So I've made a face here, and I've used images that are not associated with faces or don't usually get paired together with faces. So yeah, there's a lot you can do. Just play, have fun, go nuts.
So guys, thank you so much for joining us today. We hope that you found the tutorial useful, that you had some fun with it.